What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quarter. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day. It's interesting to watch the Rings of Power, damage control, and rewriting of history. But now we've hit a truly, truly important cross section here. A really important, how do I say, like, inflection point where first the fans reject something. Then the media says the fans are trolls. Anybody who disagrees is a troll. And then where we reach the Last Jedi levels of backlash happens when the media starts actively writing hit pieces in a way about YouTubers and other critics, whether they're bloggers or TikTokers or whatever. And now we've reached that stage because there was a hit piece-ish. I mean, it was, we'll read it. It was from 2 weeks ago. But now, the mainstream media, MSN, or MSNBC, no, it is MSN. MSN decided to rerun a 2-week-old hit piece against a creator who simply shared some opinions about Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power, and what's going on with it. This and more after a really quick word from this video's sponsor. Huge shout out to this video's sponsor, Private Internet Access VPN. Look, it's 2022. Everyone should be using a VPN by now. They unlock content, they provide an immense amount of privacy, and much more. From a privacy standpoint, not using private internet access would be like forgetting to mute yourself on Zoom and then talking about your coworkers. For a unblocking content worldwide, watching Netflix without private internet access is like paying for an entire spa day, but only getting a facial. Private internet access unlocks content, it adds an extra layer of protection, it conceals your internet traffic, your true IP, yours alone. You can access your favorite content, region-locked content. There are thousands of worldwide server locations, and I've been working with private internet access so long, they have a massive discount for you, my subscribers, when you use the link in the description or in the pinned comment down below. So get protected, get access to all the content you deserve, and save huge by using my custom link in the description or pinned comment down below to get private internet access today. Now, I'm not exactly sure how this works for MSN, if it's just repurposing original articles so that it can get ad revenue, or what the case is going on here, but they also have their very own comment section that is added to this article. Now, the original article appeared here on giantfreakingrobot.com, and it was essentially about a YouTuber, goes by the name as George the Giant Slayer. And you see the original piece here saying, there's a rumor starting to make the rounds about Amazon Prime's upcoming series, The Rings of Power. The rumor originates with YouTuber, and then they use his full name, which is cringe, George the Giant Slayer, and is being touted by Bounding Into Comics, among others. According to the YouTuber, eminent scholar Tom Shippey was fired from the production because he wouldn't stop warning the creators that they were polluting the lore. From what we can tell, there are more trustworthy sources in the New Jersey mob, the Legion of Doom, and the entire Attorney Bar Association other than George the Giant Slayer's YouTube account, but we'll let you know what he had to say regardless. Now, I'll tell you this. From what I can tell, and perhaps I'm incorrect about this, but Giant Freaking Robot is basically a rumor website. And they were fine to run this in its first place. And there's other Lord of the Rings news today, where Rings of Power could have been the long-rumored young Aragorn show, which we're going to get into. But what I thought was interesting is when it's rerun here on MSN, which is a search engine. I don't really know exactly, what they're thinking here, but I suppose it's just an aggregator. And here, so they're saying, we don't believe this guy, but we're going to get all the clicks from it anyway. So in the video posted earlier this week, he claims he's heard from 3 separate sources that Tom Shippey was not fired, as many had previously believed, from his consulting gig in Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, for violating NDA agreement for giving an unsanctioned interview to a fan site. Instead, according to the YouTuber, his 3 separate sources claim that he was fired for weekly telling the Rings of Power showrunners J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay that they were polluting the lore. You can watch a video yourself if you enjoy consuming arguments as empty as the large percentage of most potato chip bags. Why are they so mad about it? It seems so weird to be so angry about it and be like so petty about it. You know, and the thing is, like, there's always going to be rumors, right? Like, there's always rumors. If I look up this guy's name, you know, it even says rumor. This is the, you know, Amazon fire. So giant freaking robot runs Amazon, fires him. So they run the bait headline and then they add a question mark at the end. A true journalistic integrity move, right? So I digress. You see, right out of the gate, George Giant still clearly appears to have a religious agenda and is rumor spreading. He refers to the beginning of the Amazon hiding their sins, and his main point of contention in the video is whatever he calls Lord of the Rings seems carnal or lascivious activity, because apparently the folks Gimli was talking about in the Two Towers, Molo thinks, he thinks in the Middle Earth everyone is born just by springing out of holes in the ground. Amazon's goal, in his words, is to snuff out the light. He sounds more like a preacher than any kind of pop culture insider. Wow, geez, MSN. Now, I don't know if Giant Freaking Robot pays for this or how this exactly works. But, I mean, why are they so angry? And by the way, just as an update on the trailer, the San Diego Comic-Con trailer currently has, let me bring it up here so at least you can kind of see it. Currently has 77,000 likes. That's pretty good. Not for 11 million views, but that's pretty good. And it currently now has 283,000 dislikes. If you think about that, 283,000 people went out of their way to say, I don't like this. I don't want this. I never wanted it. Get rid of it. And the comments still basically, even if we look at the newest stuff, right? You know, you see like all these comments are genuinely funny. They tell Amazon that almost everything you have sent us thus far, every leak, every promotional picture, every trailer is nothing like the books. The show writers at Comic-Con can spout all they want, but I have the books right here to disprove everything they say. Sauron was a black feminist trans male. When Galadriel says winter is coming and no one believes her, pure genius. Just pause here 1 second to downvote. The only way I'll ever watch a show is if there's a fan edit that cuts out all the garbage scenes. I can't stand him. The parts where Sauron says to Gandalf, you come to my house on the day of my daughter to be married. So people are taking like old, you know, popular movie quotes and putting in here. I don't really get that meme, but I guess. You know, I love the part where Godzilla shows up and slams Smaug into the Lonely Mountain. Really looking forward to a show. I'm really looking forward to a show with the word rings in it twice. Won't have any actual rings in it in the first season either. So stunning and brave. That's actually true from what I hear from other leaks, of course. But when you're MSN, if we want to look at the MSN piece, let's look at some of the conversations. There's 200 comments here. They're going to totally trash Token. I have no doubt about that. Old news. They did have a Token expert on hand. They let him go and replaced him with an SJW with an axe to grind, who really doesn't seem to know anything about the books. The family have all backed off and just see it as a meal ticket now. There will be little or no respect given to the original works. This is the problem with corporations. They have no loyalty to their own brands, ruin the brand if they believe they can squeeze more profit in short term for themselves and top tier shareholders. Sigh, whatever Lord of the Rings there is, always drift when anyone tells Token's story instead of reading his words. It's so offensive to diehard Tokenists. Like, regardless, I'm sure it will be garbage. Like, this is the same negative comments following it everywhere. It's like, it kind of disproves the whole everyone's just a troll, doesn't it? And then they say Rings of Power could have been the long-rumored young Aragorn show. War, Mystery, Forbidden Love. It all sounds like a great television show. Well, they had confirmed that they passed on that from what I saw. Back in 2017, when Amazon cut the deal with Token to stay for a cool $250 million, Before the ink even dried, word on the street was Amazon's purchase of the token film rights would translate to a television series about the young Aragorn, set long before the would-be king of Gondor was fighting wars and ruling kingdoms. But then the show never got off the ground, and now The Rings of Power is a month out from launching on Amazon Prime. For years, fans have been wondering, was the young Aragorn show just a pipe dream, or did it ever really have a real shot? Now we finally know the full story in an interview with Total Film. Rings of Power co-showrunner J.D. Payne confirms that the young Aragorn show was a real contender, one of many. When it first went up for the job, we were told that there were literally dozens of other people who were throwing their hat in the ring, and everyone was coming up with different things. Payne said Amazon bought the rights for the trilogy, the appendices, The Hobbit. They said the field was wide open. Any story within that material you could tell. So you had people pitching Young Aragon show or the Gimli spinoff or other types of things. Oh my God. Think about it. Like, if they're gonna Disney Plus Lord of the Rings and we're gonna have 500 spin-off shows that all suck, if they're gonna MCU like Disney Plus, good Lord. It says, chin up, Aragorn fans. In The Rings of Power, we have 5 seasons of token goodness to look forward to, starring many of Aragorn's ancestors, including Elrond himself. Maybe, somewhere down the road, we'll finally tell the Aragorn show of our dreams, just as long as there's no Tom Bombadil spin-off. Oh, there's gonna be spin-offs. You don't pay that much for the rights to they're gonna do the Disney Plus thing. They're gonna MCU it. They're really, really gonna water it down now. Yikes. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.